Hi, my name is Stephen McGee and I'm the author of Electrical Forensics. I'm here to look into this experiment. So this is a stray voltage experiment, and the reason why we're looking at it is because the top floors in my home are electrified by the utility neutral system. I live in Tucson, Arizona. I've reported this to the utility company, who for years have been denying that my floors are electrified. So we're in the next stage of this experiment, and as you can see, we're looking at 3 dead Dieffenbachia plants. I'm going to show you what the Dieffenbachia typically looks like. It looks like this. It has pattern leaves the size of your hand. So a lot of solar went into my neighborhood. There's a lot of homes in my neighborhood over the past year that have solar photovoltaic systems on the roofs. And one of the things that solar photovoltaics does is it alters the stray voltage frequency content. And these plants appear to have reacted in an adverse way to that stray voltage frequency content. And we're going to take a little look at these plants. So they're actually different ages. So this one was from December 2014. This one was from April 2013, and this one again was from April 2013. And they were deforming, but they weren't dying, and in the last 6 months they've actually all died. So I thought that was highly unusual. And just to show you the setup, they're actually electrically connected into the floor using these foil wrapped bases, and this foil going in to the root system of the plant to electrically connect the roots to the base. And you're probably wondering about this one. So this was one that was developed to assess the field effect that the floor is emitting, because this floor emits an electromagnetic field for some distance above it. So certainly the root system of this plant is in an electromagnetic field. You can see it's very sickly. So it's supposed to have leaves that look like that, but this is what they really look like today. And it seems to me to be on the verge of death. Now, I actually have this experiment running in 2 other locations in the home, and we're going to go and take a look at the front location that is nearest to the street. And just for your information, this experiment here with the foil bases, we're about 33 feet from my electrical ground rods, and that's what is electrifying the kitchen floor. So all the energy coming in off the ground rods comes through the floor, electrifies the tile floor in my kitchen, and is killing the plants, as we can see. And it seems to be an effect of solar photovoltaics. So let's go and see the floor closest to the street. So we're in the front of my home, and this is the closest you can get on my tile floors to the street. And I established during the development of electrical forensics that this floor is indeed electrified with stray voltage. And that's why this experiment is in this location. And we have the same setup as before, so we have one on an insulated plant pot, so it's getting the field exposure only. And we have these 3 on a foil base, and they're getting both the field exposure and the direct electrical connection to the floor. So these are also getting the voltage exposure. And it's quite interesting. So 2 of the plants are showing comparable growth. So they get this much smaller leaf growth, very little patterning. You see it's the same down here. And this is one of the effects of radio frequency exposed plants, is that they get very shiny leaves. So you can see the shiny leaf effect on this plant, as you can on the back plant. So we've got shiny leaves right there. So that means they're getting a radio frequency exposure, and that's coming up through the grounding system that they're in contact with. So this one on the left, this one is Goliath. And we need to look at the label to actually understand what's going on with this one, why it's so different. So in February 2014, this plant was placed here. And then the following few months I actually cut down an electrified tree in my front garden. It was about 30 foot tall and it was emitting electromagnetic fields. And if you slept inside this bedroom, you would get very weird sleep patterns and wake up very fatigued. You wouldn't feel very good. And that appeared to be from the electromagnetic field emissions of the tree. So I cut that tree down during the period that this was going through its deformation process, and it appeared to have a very strange effect on it in the sense that it only got a partial exposure, and that partial exposure has turned it into this Goliath plant. And no other plant in this location shows that Goliath plant effect. And most people who grow the Dieffenbachia will say, yeah, it's how the Dieffenbachia is supposed to grow. So let's take a little look at this one. So this one is the one that's on the plastic tray, so it's actually electrically insulated from the floor, and it's just getting the field exposure that comes up out of the floor. You can see that we've got a very similar leaf effect going on as we saw in the first two plants in this location. So it still has its original leaves, they've yet to be dropped, so it looked like that when it came in, which is the typical Dieffenbachia growth, and it now is putting up growth that looks like this. And this one was placed into this location in August 2014. And Goliath, as we saw earlier, was placed here in February 2014. And the two that are showing comparable growth, these were placed into this location in April 2013 and December 2014. So that's what's going on in the front hallway. Now I'm going to show you the best plants in the home that this experiment has yielded, and we're going to go into the master bathroom to show you that. So here we are in the master bathroom, and this has the best floor in the home. The electrification is very low on this floor. It's the furthest tile floor from the electrical ground rods and also the street, and both those locations are electrified at my property with stray voltage. And as you can see, this is how the Dieffenbachia is supposed to grow. So we have the same set of plants and they're all healthy. So let's go through them and let's see what we've got. So down here we have the plant from August 2014. As you can see, this one is the one that is insulated from the ground on the plastic water tray. Now over here, this is our electrified set of plants, and we've got 3 of them, and this one is the December 2014, and it's much healthier than the previous ones that we saw. Now this one here is the April 2013 plant. It's very healthy, has nice large leaves, looks like the Dieffenbachia. And this one's very healthy as well. And you can see that this one is the February 2014 plant. So there's no doubts that if you want to grow the Dieffenbachia in my home, electrically connected into the floor, or just even in vicinity of the floor, but in the electromagnetic fields that the floor is emitting, that in my home, the safest floor to do that on is the master bathroom. I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and I wish you the very best of health. Thank you.